Over 42,000 Toyota Land Cruisers are sold in Australia each year. It is inside this Yoshiwara plant in Japan that the latest generation of Land Cruiser SUVs are produced. More than 310,000 Land Cruisers are produced worldwide each year, of which a total of 15% are exported to Australia. Right now, you're watching the start of production of the Land Cruiser J70 at a factory near Toyota City. After the body parts have been pressed together, the car parts are now welded together to form the car body. The Yoshiwara plant produces vehicles with body on frame. More than 3,000 employees work here. In total, over 10 million Land Cruisers have been sold in Australia, the most in the world. This is because of their extremely high reliability. There are long distances between cities in Australia, so locals want a car that won't break down. The Land Cruiser 70 series was launched in 1984 as a heavy-duty model designed primarily for use in harsh environments. These Japanese factory workers will now assemble the entire body of the car. Before painting begins, the so-called the primer is applied to the bodywork. The painting process inside this Japanese factory is automated by robotic arms. The painting is followed by quality control in these illuminated tunnels. Toyota's Japanese factories maintain the tradition of having mainly women working in the quality control workstation. Now the final phase of the J70 assembly begins. In this phase, the lights are gradually being installed and the interior of the vehicle is being worked on. Two workers glue the front windshield using this manipulator arm. After connecting the body and chassis to the engine, all wiring is connected. Workers inside this factory wear yellow helmets in addition to safety goggles and gloves. At the same time, they are working on the Toyota chassis. The high professionalism of these workers, including their emphasis on accuracy, is typical of the Japanese. Now Toyota cars are ready to start up for the first time and go for waterproofing tests. After that, the cars will move on to the dyno. At the end of the entire production process, the cars are again subjected to a thorough quality control. Workers still stick the chrome elements and emblems on the bodywork. They also check the gaps between the doors and the body frame, and much more. Despite major changes in styling and numerous technological updates, the 70 series was designed to retain the off-road capabilities and durability associated with the 40 series. Originally, model numbers 70 through 74 referred to the two-door short and medium wheelbase versions. On the latest model, the ashtray and cigarette lighter have been deleted from the equipment list. Land Cruiser Prado is among the top 5 best-selling new cars in Australia. Right now, you're watching its production from the sheet metal presses. Land Cruiser is Toyota's longest-selling nameplate. It was originally launched in 1951 as the Toyota BJ and renamed Land Cruiser in 1954. It is sold in approximately 170 regions worldwide. Australia's Land Cruiser sales includes almost 400,000 workhorse vehicles, including the current 70 series range. With its authentic off-road design, tough frame, outstanding basic performance, and simple component structure, the Land Cruiser 70 has drawn on the series' intrinsic features to support the livelihoods of people everywhere. In older models, welding was done manually, as you can see. Nowadays, these processes are already being replaced by robotic welding robots. The latest iteration of the vehicle has built on the unique properties of the 70 series, so that it can further support local communities and the livelihoods of people everywhere. The history of the Land Cruiser symbolizes Toyota's QDR, quality, durability, and reliability. At the same time, it is the source of Toyota's car making for the world and for people. The Land Cruiser is a reassuring companion for conducting work and lifestyles. It is a car that transports people's lives and items, and that fulfills people's mobility dreams. And it is a car that enables people to go where they want, when they want, and to return safe and sound. Land Cruiser 70. It is equipped with a 2.8-liter direct-injection turbo diesel engine that combines powerful driving performance with superb fuel economy. The interior of the Land Cruiser retains the series' powerful horizontal design theme and functional off-road layout. Operations are simple across diverse usage scenarios, and the use of luxurious materials promises a cabin that will satisfy every owner. In Australia, Land Cruiser is used for mobility in zinc and copper mines, some 1,600 meters underground. It is also used to herd cattle on vast cattle ranches. It is also a popular choice for city-based families. Welding the bodywork takes several tens of minutes at this workstation. Land Cruiser has been produced in convertible, hardtop, station wagon, and cab chassis body styles. The smaller variation of the Land Cruiser has been marketed as the Land Cruiser Prado. Described as a light-duty version of the Land Cruiser by Toyota, it features a different design compared to the full-size model, and up until 2023, it remains the only comfort-oriented Land Cruiser available with a short wheelbase 3-door version. As of 2024, the Prado is available in every Toyota market except in Mexico, South Korea, and some Southeast Asian and South American markets. Toyota divided the Land Cruiser family into 3 series: The most basic version is the heavy-duty series, which prioritizes functionality, durability, and off-road capabilities over comfort or technology. Models considered as heavy-duty by Toyota are the BJ, FJ, 20, 40, and 70 series. The station wagon series of the Land Cruisers has more emphasis on comfort and interior space. Models considered as part of the station wagon series are the 55, 60, 80, 100, 200, and 250-300 series. The chassis frame with the engine has wheels already fitted. The drive shaft is connected to the engine, and the upper cab of this popular car is waiting to be connected. A worker with a Lexus t-shirt now prepares the chassis for the connection. Now the Land Cruiser body is lowered onto the prepared chassis. This part of production is called the marriage. The factory worker, who is in charge of this moment, holds the yellow controller, which coordinates the lowering of the body onto the chassis frame. Land Cruiser SE is a monocoque-based 3-row battery electric concept SUV using the Land Cruiser nameplate, showcased at the 2023 Japan Mobility Show. Owing to its durability and reliability, the Land Cruiser, along with the smaller Toyota Hilux, has become popular among military forces and used as a military light utility vehicle. Primarily tuned for the European market, it was intended to be a more comfortable version of the heavy-duty series by adopting coil spring suspension, while being smaller and more affordable than the station wagon series. Several of Toyota Motor Corporation's manufacturing plants, including the Tsutsumi plant, are located in Toyota City. The long-standing ties between the Toyota Motor Corporation and the town of Toyota, formerly known as Koromo, gave the town its current name. Toyota Motor Corporation was founded by the Toyota family. The word Toyota uses 10 Japanese strokes to write, while Toyota uses only 8. 8 is considered a lucky number in Japanese culture. For these reasons, Toyota was chosen as the company's name. To continue to cater to and even exceed customer expectations, development of the Land Cruiser will take place on the premise that it will be used in every corner of the world. To this end, Toyota intends to set even more rigorous standards and to continue to engage in car making with the goal of creating a truly unique car. This Land Cruiser is now ready to be loaded and transported to its future owner. The production of every Toyota car in the world always starts with these steel coils. The steel coils are then used to make the body parts of future cars. The molded body parts are welded automatically using robotic arms in the welding shop. Different car manufacturers differ in many ways, but the order of these procedures is the same for all of them. From design to launch, it typically takes around 2 to 5 years to make a car from start to finish. This long timeline is to ensure the car is in sound condition for public use, as well as to develop original designs that will spark interest within a large market. The assembly of, for example, doors or bonnets still has to be done manually by workers in the factory. Toyota is the most popular car brand in Japan. Toyota's dominance of the Japanese vehicle market continued with sales up by 26% for a market share of 33%. The top 3 best-selling car models in Japan in 2024 were made by Toyota: Toyota Yaris, Corolla, and Sienna. Car bodies are slowly moving across the paint shop, where they will get their future color. Car manufacturers have experienced the assembly process since the days of Henry Ford's assembly line innovations. However, design and material use have become more intricate and complex as technology develops and demand changes. Toyota in Japan is making significant efforts to increase the number of female employees in their factories. As in all automotive factories, the most human workers are in the general assembly department. Quality inspectors also often use handheld lamps to shine on the car's paintwork. On Japanese roads, similarly in the UK, cars have the steering wheel on the right side of the car. The car moves along a moving assembly line in a factory where robots and humans work on it. Factory workers attach parts to the car and may work alongside robots on some tasks. Once the body parts are made on the car, it undergoes detailing. This includes cleaning, applying chemicals to protect against corrosion and scratches, and painting. This is Takaoka Assembly Plant, where over 3,000 employees work. Toyota Publica, Sprinter, Carina, Tercel, Sinos are produced here. You are now watching the production of the Harrier. This video footage was taken in the Japanese Motomachi plant. The popular Toyota Crown has been continuously produced here since 1959. It is primarily a line of mid-size luxury cars that is marketed as an upmarket offering in the Toyota lineup. In 2022, Toyota unveiled 4 different Crown models to replace the 15th generation model. Those successors are Toyota Corolla Mark II, Avalon, and Sora. Approximately 200,000 Toyota Crown vehicles are produced annually. As a premium car, the Toyota Crown has its own logo. It has a crown in its emblem, of course. Please let me know in the comments section what your experience has been with the Toyota Crown. Now factory workers are assembling the seats, which are still wrapped in protective plastic foil. Toyota Crown was first exported to the United States from 1958 to 1973 as the first model Toyota exported to the country. The 16th generation, which is produced from 2022, is exported to 40 countries around the world. Right now, you are watching the production of the 15th generation Toyota Crown, which was produced between 2018 and 2022. The 15th generation Crown is one of the first Toyota models to be equipped with a data communication module. At the end of the main assembly line, this factory worker adds oil and checks the finished engine. The Toyota Crown now gets all the necessary fluids like brake fluid, coolant. Gas is also filled, and the car is started for the first time. Engine adjustment and subsequent quality control is absolutely key with this premium brand. It is only through high quality that Toyota can justify such a high price for these cars. If you want a standard hybrid car, however, you may lean towards the Crown. Or if you want gas and hybrid model options, you may look into a Camry. We now move on to the production of the Toyota Prius. As of September 2024, the Prius ranked as the world's top-selling hybrid car, with 5 million units sold. This is the Japanese factory Tsutsumi, owned by Toyota. This is how the plug-in battery pack is installed inside the Toyota Prius. Now this worker will use the manipulator arm to install the entire front dashboard. The 14th generation Toyota Prius has been produced here since 2015. A facelifted version was introduced in 2018. The 2018 model year Prius ranked as the second most fuel-efficient gasoline-powered car without plug-in capability available in the United States that year. Now you can see how they install the engine to the car bodywork. After the engine is connected to the car body, the front and rear bumpers are assembled on the main assembly line. The 15th generation Toyota Prius is built at this Tsutsumi plant near Aichi from 2022. During the Prius's best ever year, Toyota sold 236,000 of them. Factory workers on this part of the main assembly line work with their hands up. It's quite demanding work. Factory workers wear hard hats, goggles, and gloves. This mandatory dress code in Japan is not common in American factories. The lower engine and chassis cover is now bolted on. Tsutsumi is one of the original 5-star Toyota sustainable plants. Toyota Prius, Crown, Corolla, and Camry are produced at the Tsutsumi plant in Japan. They work 2 shifts every day and produce around 1,500 cars a day. "15,000 square meters of rooftop solar panels, generating up to 2,000 kilowatts of energy an hour, equivalent to the power used by 500 households. Now, while the car is still raised, all wheels are mounted because of pneumatic manipulator arms to tighten all screws at once. Toyota Prius has a hybrid drivetrain combined with an internal combustion engine and an electric motor. Assembly of all wheels takes just a few tens of seconds. The assembly line slowly moves on to the next workstation. The workers in the factory are motivated to complete their tasks within the time limit. The doors are almost the last to be fitted, making it easy to access the Prius interior for assembly. Once the quality checks are completed in these illuminated tunnels, the cars are taken to their future owners. Quality control is always carried out at the end of the production line according to a predetermined checklist. The car is checked for any imperfections or inconsistencies in the interior and exterior design. Then the car will be tested in heavy water pressure to find leaks. The car's programming will be tested, and the electrical units will be checked to ensure safety and accessibility. Finally, crash testing will be executed to observe how the car handles impacts and to test airbag and seatbelt performance. This factory is located in Motomachi, Aichi Prefecture. It is located near the town of Toyota, formerly known as Corolla. This factory produces over 80,000 Toyota and Lexus cars annually. Several of Toyota Motor Corporation's manufacturing plants, including the Tsutsumi plant, are located there. The long-standing ties between the Toyota Motor Corporation and the town of Toyota, formerly known as Corolla, gave the town its current name. Approximately 5,000 employees work here, the vast majority of whom are Japanese. You are now watching the step-by-step manufacturing of the engine into the Toyota Mirai. Workers in the factory wear white protective clothing and plug in lights and other wiring. Now they install front dashboard using manipulator arm. Toyota has a whopping 16 car factories in Japan, which is a huge number compared to other car companies in other countries. Even this figure shows how huge Toyota is. It is still the largest car manufacturer globally. Three of these car factories are located near the capital Tokyo. The chassis and fuel cell system are now being assembled. This employee connects the individual components according to predetermined instructions. Production process is like a giant jigsaw puzzle. The steps on the checklist are ticked off one by one. These are polymer electrolyte fuel cells. Mirai uses hydrogen to generate electricity. Chassis with powertrain and hydrogen tanks almost ready. Nine years after launching its hydrogen-powered Mirai car, Toyota has admitted that the model has not been a success and that commercial vehicles offer the best bet for future hydrogen road transport. Toyota Mirai has been in production since December 2014, and most sales of this car have been in the United States. Mirai owners and lessees report frequent struggles finding compatible refueling stations, often requiring long drives. Even reaching a station doesn't guarantee success, as issues with broken equipment or incompatible fuel cards can leave them stranded. Mirai is a mid-size hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. It is the first fuel cell vehicle to be mass-produced and sold commercially. On a full tank of fuel, this car will travel over 310 miles, which is 500 kilometers. On a full tank of fuel, this car will travel over 310 miles, which is 500 kilometers. Toyota began fuel cell development in Japan in the early 1990s. Toyota was sued in California class action over the lack of availability of hydrogen available for fuel cell electric cars. In 2017, Toyota recalled all of the roughly 2,800 zero-emission Mirai cars on the road due to problems with the output voltage generated by their fuel cell system. Most fuel cell electric vehicles sold in Japan in 2021, a total of 2,500 cars. Now the front axle motor is ready for mounting to the chassis. Unfortunately, only as many as 500 fuel cell electric vehicles were sold in Japan last year. Now the front and rear bumpers are attached to the car and the wheels are fitted. Toyota Mirai has a body with a chassis and an engine. The main assembly line for the interior will now begin. All parts are delivered to the main assembly line from this huge warehouse. Human workers are used instead of robots to connect all the cables and bolt down parts of the interior. Multiple workers working on the interior at the same time. Only human workers can do this specific work in the production process. The reason is that connecting wiring and stretching small parts cannot be done by a robotic hand. Next to the main assembly line, there is a huge warehouse of all the parts for the models produced. Employees work in teams. Each group is led by a supervisor who is responsible for the quality of the workstation. Now this worker applies a special strong adhesive to the edge of car window. These two workers simply clip the front window into the body frame, and it sticks. These two workers simply clip the front window into the body frame and it sticks. The doors will be added to the car at the end of production. The reason for this is easy access to the car's cabin. At this point, it looks almost finished, but there are still many things to be done. The production of each car takes dozens of hours of pure work in total. The prospects for fuel cells in transportation are bright, with significant potential to impact global transportation systems and help achieve environmental goals. As we move toward a hydrogen-powered transportation ecosystem, collaboration between governments, industries, and research institutions will be key. The steering wheel is tightened with ideal force by this device. Now Toyota can start up for the first time, and it's moving on its own wheels. Now begins the phase of production for which Japan is famous: quality control. Newly manufactured cars are thoroughly inspected here. Made in Japan is a mark of high quality worldwide. Under powerful white strong lights, these employees check the quality of the bodywork paintwork. By touching the white gloves, this final quality control worker checks the gaps between the door and the bodywork. To do this job, you need a great eye for detail and flawlessness. At the end of this quality control line, the car is taken for dyno and drivetrain testing. Toyota will also be the best-selling car brand in Japan in 2025. Performance testing of the car is now underway, and a range of tests are being carried out. While the number of electric cars in the US is in the millions, hydrogen-powered vehicles are only in the tens of thousands. The price of the 2025 Toyota Mirai is expected to start around $52,000 and go up to $69,000, depending on the trim and options. Japanese government plans to boost commercialization of fuel cell vehicles with subsidies. Second-generation Toyota Mirai, based on TNGA platform, to be produced from 2020. Tanks with a 3-layer structure made of carbon fiber-reinforced plastic and other materials are used to store hydrogen at a very high pressure of 70 megapascals. Compared to the high-pressure hydrogen tanks used in the Toyota Hybrid Hydrogen Fuel Cell Development Program model, her tank storage has been increased by approximately 20%. Now the completed Toyota cars are being transported to a huge car park in the harbor near the factory. From here, the cars are loaded onto this giant transport ferry. Most of the Toyotas from here head to the United States and a smaller number to Europe to their future owners. The Nagoya Wharf Center is a key port for Toyota to distribute its vehicles around the world.